It could be argued that the importance of the album cover was king when vinyl was the dominant music format. The reduced size of the cover with compact discs meant that the impact of the cover image was lost. I remember when I bought Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds on cassette, there was a form that you could send in to get the full-size color booklet that came with the vinyl album. The cover art for albums was sometimes just as important as the music. Even those with black and white images could make an impact. But one album had a design that clearly made a statement.
Joy Division's second album, Closer, had several elements that would be copied by other artists for their covers, but they were also used on albums before the record was released.
I'll break down these elements and then we'll look at other albums and see how close, excuse the pun, they were. So I've broken the design into 4 parts, the first being the white background, the second is the black frame, and the third is the black and white rectangular image on the lower part of the cover. The final part is the album title, centered in the top half of the cover. So an exact copy of all of these elements would score 4 out of 4.
The first album to use parts of this design was the debut album from Dr. Feelgood, Down by the Jetty, released in January 1975. This only scores 2 out of 4, as it just has the black and white photo on a white background. Next is the self-titled 1976 album by Silver. This scores 3 out of 4 as it has the centered title, white background, and black and white photo, but no frame. Kenny Wheeler's 1978 album, Dear Wan, scores 2 out of 4 for the photo and background.
Tereye Ripedoll's 1978 album, Waves, scores 2 out of 4. In June 1980, Joy Division released the 12-inch single of Love Will Tear Us Apart, which scores 3 out of 4 as they have a black background with a white frame and title. Released a week before the Joy Division album is Ultravox's Vienna. It scores 3 out of 4 as the group's name and album title are right justified. Magazine's 1980 album, Play, scores 2 out of 4 as there's no frame and the group's name is also on the album. Rush's 1981 album, Moving Pictures, scores 1 out of 4 as it has a color photo, no frame, and a black background. Despite the differences, it has a similar vibe. Howard Jones's debut album, Humans Lib, released in 1984, is very similar, scoring 3 out of 4 as he includes his name above the album title. Dinah Lakayan's self-titled 1986 album gets 3 out of 4, missing only the frame. Brian's 1992 album, Understand, scores 2 out of 4 as there's no frame and the picture is nearly centered vertically with words above and below. Tears for Fears released their Elemental album in June 1993. With the title and group name to the right and the hint of color in the rectangular photo, it scores 2 out of 4. Ryuichi Sakamoto's 2009 album Out of Noise scores 2 out of 4, as there's no frame and it also has the artist's name. The Weather Station's Duet 2013 album, First Letters Good Bread, gets 2 out of 4. Le Ren's 2021 album, Leftovers, only has the white background and rectangular photo, so it scores 2 out of 4. Susan O'Neill's album, Now in a Minute, was released in September 2024. It has a white background and a black and white photo, so it scores 2 out of 4. Toby Hayes' 2025 album, New Music for the 6-String Guitar, scores 2 out of 4. The final cover I found is Observation Room's 2025 self-titled EP. It has a frame, a centered title, and a black and white photo, but it scores 3 out of 4 as the frame isn't black and the photo is centered and not rectangular like the Joy Division photo. So, do you know of any other albums that I've missed that are similar in design? Tell me about them in the comments below.